How's it going, SEO stars? It's season 4 on the GetGrow.tv channel, and this year we're gonna celebrate 10 years of the Squirrly Company. Now you can see a lot of cool dates about the Squirrly Company here on the video because I have a slide right here to tell you all about like our new stuff and our milestones, achievements, where we're at. But I'm really excited to kick off season 4 by doing a presentation, like a whole demo, a walkthrough of Squirrly SEO peaks. So a lot of people have been asking me, with all the latest changes, because it's been like a huge update with huge UX improvements, very big UI improvements, redesigns on the plugin, on the software as a service side. And over Q1 and Q2 at the Squirrely Company, we've done many releases to the customer app, Squirrely Social, Content Look, Squirrely Spy, uh, Education Cloud Plus, and we've done a whole bunch of updates on a lot of different products and services that we offer. But a lot of people have been interested in Squirrely SEO Peaks because right now it looks a lot better than last year and it's got some pretty amazing capabilities. So a walkthrough is indeed needed. It's indeed required and necessary. But as always, the best things that you will find for your WordPress and your SEO, specifically for you and your site in your own corner of the world, you're gonna find them in the overview section. Now I really want to demo this very quickly on the video before we get into every single tool, every single thing that Squirrely SEO has to offer, because in the overview section of many different sites that you own or that you handle or that you take care of or that your friends have or any other collaborators, if you go to the overview section of many sites where you've worked on your SEO, you will see different things in the next SEO goals. So you see that highlighted on my screen. You'll see this is what I have for my personal site. This is what I have, what our friends have over at Chief Content. So you can see it's very different, right? Just take a look at what's written inside next SEO goals. The 3 goals are already different, and if we look at the other ones, you're gonna see lots of differences there as well, right? So sometimes you have to reduce the bounce rate, sometimes you have to make the focus pages longer. So there's like a lot of things that you need to do to your website. And this is like Chief Content and my own site. But if we go over to a Service Cheetah, for example, you're gonna see other SEO goals that that our team, it's a test website. Service Cheetah is a test website that we have. There's a lot of different other things that you need to do there. So you can see that if I move from one to the other, there's going to be different aspects of SEO that you need to focus on if you want to start having results with your WordPress site and with your WordPress SEO. Now I know that a lot of people prefer video, prefer stuff like this, but trust me, you've got Squirrely SEO with the Ranking Vision AI, and it's amazing what it can do and what it can show you in very quick and very easy next SEO goals. So you could be spending tons of money on consultants and they would actually tell you the same thing, because what does Squirrely do? It evaluates hundreds of ranking factors that Google takes into account, and then it comes up with a completely different action plan for each of your sites, so you won't have 2 sites having the same things on them. So in next SEO goals, you will know exactly what you need to focus on to get that particular site with those particular focus pages ranked in top 10 on Google search. Now there's no video in the world that can be done that's better than the overview section inside of Squirrely SEO with the next SEO goals. And why is that? Well, in a video, in a document, even in a masterclass series, we're going to have a masterclass for Squirrely SEO Peaks. It's going to be over on Education Cloud Plus, and we're going to have that definitely. But that's going to teach you how to use the tool, how to interact with everything. It's going to teach you more about SEO. But the best thing to do is to actually go to the next SEO goals, because these things are created by our AI. They are generated for you for your exact case, so you won't have other people having your exact case. And this is step by step, and it's made for you. It's tailored. It's not made the same for everyone. This is not McDonald's here. This is actual consultant work done by our software as a service plus plugin package. So there's a lot that you can learn and you can do and get done directly from here without having to know directly and reading directly a lot of tons of features that we have. We have over 600 features. You don't have to read all that. You can just use the overview section with the next SEO goals. And as always, you're gonna see what you have to use. These are the features. If you click on them, you will reach their different pages. Keyword research live assistant, you can also click this to reach the landing pages where you can see all the features, approximately the time that it's gonna take you. You can decide to ignore certain tasks, and then it will show you if you want to restart them again. But you can also click on show me how, and on show me how you're gonna actually learn what you need to do. So you can mark it as done, or you can say like let's do this, and it will take you where you need to go in order to fix this and in order to complete this next SEO goal. But as a future SEO star, you need to understand you'll never be able to rank for any keyword you think about. Not even huge sites spend 1,000 times more money on SEO can do that. Just switch to different keywords sometimes. That's gonna be the best thing that you can do, and you'll be acting like an expert. So there's like tons of cool things that Squirrly SEO can teach you on a personal level what to do with your SEO, and it even provides you the solutions. So go and edit the page and do what it says there, right? Then add keywords to ranking section. You don't know how to do that, you can click here to find more about the features, but you can also click on show me how, and it tells you why this is important as a goal that you can place for yourself. And then the solution, so it tells you where you need to go. You have a link, and then you can do all of that from there. So you can see it's very easy to use. Like, this is probably the easiest SEO software to use in the whole world. Maybe that's why it's awarded so many times. I think this year in 2022, it's gonna be 2 years in a row the most awarded SEO tool out there. So I think that's pretty cool. And because it's so simple, that's why people love it so much, because all the awards are based on how much users recommend it, how much users actually like this SEO software as service plus plugin that we have. Right, so we can go to the features. So these are the feature pages, and you can see more about the keyword research tool, different aspects. So you can see more from our site, you can navigate, you can even watch a video of how focus pages works and the focus pages concept. So that's also interesting. But as I said, you can do many things just by going to show me how. And once you're done with goals and you think that you've achieved goals, you can either go and show me how and mark as done, or you can tell Squirrly to run a new SEO test, which will actually test to see if you've reached your goals, or if you just think that you've reached your goals. Because sometimes you may think, oh, I've reached my goals, this is all good, but it's not. So you need to do an SEO test to actually figure out if you've completed the SEO goal or not. Then we go to progress and achievements, and you can see that each site is going to have different progress and achievements as well. This is also very customized. Let's go here. These are other progress and achievements for this other site. Let's see what we can have here. So you can see each of them having their own things. This can be printed out, this can be sent to your customers. This is something that we do with some of our customers. We show them these types of progress and achievements, and it's very important for them to see, because this is how they get the feeling that their SEO is actually going places and that something good is going to happen with the websites that we handle for them. Right, but also our users are very happy seeing that by following the next SEO goals and the advice from focus pages, they actually get real world results, and they don't just feel good about doing SEO, they actually get something out of SEO, which is very important. Alright, then what should I show you next? So you've got stuff like the main features. You can access them from here, definitely. And you will see that in all the new sections that we have, we give free learning materials. Each section has a different set of learning materials. So if you're ever in a place in Squirrly where you want to use something and you're not sure what you want to use, in which order, or what you have to do, you're going to have the free learning materials to help you out and overcome any kind of problem that you may have. So that's also really cool in Squirrly SEO Picks. This was never available before in Squirrly SEO. Now, another really cool thing that you're going to notice is SEO Beginner and SEO Expert. So in the new Squirrly SEO Picks, it's amazingly easy to switch from Beginner to SEO Expert. Beginners will have all the great SEO stuff made for them, but as an expert, there is a lot more that you can configure. So for beginners, most of the things will be done automatically during setup. I'm going to show you setup at the end of the video, but as an expert, you can actually get access to all of the settings that you can do with Squirrly SEO. And if sometimes you feel like there's got to be a setting and you can't find it, just switch over to SEO Expert. It's very easy to do that, and you will know what you have to do. So that's going to be super easy. Now you can see your user account. This info has also changed a lot. And you can even hide the section from your customers. So if you want to hide this section, you can go here and learn what you need to do to make it happen. So there are a lot of cool updates made to Squirrly SEO picks. Right, so I've shown you the overview section and the next SEO goals. I've explained why it's so important to look over the next SEO goals and how it's better than a lot of other advice or tutorials or anything that you could have, because it's made specifically for your website, and you could see 3 different websites having 3 different sets of next SEO goals that they should focus on in order to get better rankings. So it's super easy. You just have to click on show me how. It tells you what you need to do. It provides you with the solution, talks to you about why it's important, and you get everything done right there. Okay, so now that we're gonna do a walkthrough, we can't do anything unless we actually show this. So this year we've decided to explain things a little bit better, because a lot of people get SEO content completely wrong. So nobody actually knows what SEO content means. So what does SEO content mean? Well, it can mean a ton of things. So it's not helpful to anyone to just say optimized content. What does that even mean? It doesn't mean anything. Optimized content doesn't mean anything to anyone. It's just a big blah blah. So in order to really know what's happening in SEO, you need to think about these guys in the first image who are trying to create the perfect kind of apple juice, right? So they're trying to create apple juice. They don't know which recipe is gonna be the best, so they try it out until they make the best recipe, and until everything is made in accordance to all of their internal guides, how the taste is supposed to be, the kind of ingredients that they need to use, so everything to make the content perfect, which is basically the apple juice, because that's the content that's gonna go into the bottles and into the cartons where you have the apple juice, right? So first you need to know how to make the perfect juice, and then you need to package it in a bottle so that people will be able to drink the content, which is the juice, right? So does it make sense? I hope it does, because with the SEO Live Assistant, you actually create the perfect juice, and then with the bulk SEO, with the snippets, the rich snippets, the meta title, the meta description, the open graph, the Twitter cards, those things are just the package. So that's the bottle in which you're gonna place your apple juice, right? So this is like, I think this is the easiest and the clearest way to explain it. So with SEO Live Assistant, what you're actually doing is you're creating the content. You add the right ingredients in just the right amount so that both search engines and human readers will love it. Now with bulk SEO, with the snippets, with everything that you do around the snippets, around the rich snippets and JSON-LD and schema, open graph, Twitter cards, all of that stuff, you just get the packaging right. So you help search engines and social media sites learn what your page is about and how it's supposed to be displayed, which is basically the bottle, the bottles, all the bottles that you see right here, they are getting packaged and ready for delivery. So in the first part, we create the perfect juice, then we create the perfect package for it, and then what we need to do is to create the perfect distribution. Because if you don't distribute this apple juice to anyone, then you're just gonna have a huge stock of apple juice that nobody ever drinks, and you don't make money out of it. Even if you were a charity, there's still nobody drinking it, so it's still a waste. And that's what happens to most websites in the world. And it's pretty sad, but that's what it is, because most people, they don't know that they need to transport and they need to figure out distribution for the apple juice that they create and package. So a lot of people will spend time creating and writing and then doing open graph and Twitter cards, and then they don't have the single slightest clue on how to get that piece of content with the package over to readers. So that's what makes web design sad, for example, because a lot of clients, they're happy that they get a new site and then once they have a new site, they realize that nothing happens. And why doesn't anything happen? I mean, the site is good, the design is nice, we have good content, we have good packaging for the content. Why is nobody there? Well, it's because you don't have distribution. You don't have logistics yet. You don't have anybody to transport your existing content to readers and to transport readers to your existing content. None of that happens, and because that doesn't happen, there's a huge disconnect. You enter the gap of desolation, and you feel like you just want to completely quit your website and what you're doing with your website. So that's super bad. And hopefully, in 2022 we can start with Squirrly SEO Picks. We can start explaining everything better and helping people move and get customers from the internet and do all of that cool stuff. So influence SEO signals to ensure distribution. See what still needs to be done to the new page so that it reaches customers searching on Google, and then make the changes. Don't just think about the changes, make the changes. In order to do this, you will use focus pages. So now you finally know why you need to look at the SEO Live Assistant, the bulk SEO, and focus pages. All right, so that's pretty important to know, because a lot of people, instead of actually working on their sites, they focus on rich snippets, which is not actually helpful for anybody, because you don't have the proper apple juice yet, and you're thinking about rich snippets, which is just one small part of the packaging. It's not even the whole package. The rich snippet is not the whole package. You still need to think about the title, the description. You still need to think about Open Graph and Twitter cards. You still need to make sure that everything is aligned, that you have the proper visibility settings, that you don't no follow and no index your most important pages. And there's like a lot that's going on there, and people get it wrong every single time because they just focus on the trends and on what many influencers say on social media and wherever about rich snippets. So you also need to think about the distribution. If you don't do the distribution, you're not gonna make anything happen, and that's where you're gonna use focus pages. So because Squirrly SEO has so many features, I think that this is the best way to do it. Like, let's just go dive into the SEO Live Assistant, go and see something in bulk SEO, and then try to look at some focus pages and see what we can do. So let's think about making like the perfect apple juice. Let's take some content. It doesn't matter what content it is. Let's take this one, for example. I have it opened right here in my browser, and then I open up the Live Assistant, and I'm going to start from keywords. Now you can see in step 1 that I have the best software as a service startup and best software as a service startup company. I have 50% optimization. You can also see the SLA score, the SEO Live Assistant score here, and the main keyword here. The main keyword is also highlighted with a star. I can close, I can remove a keyword from optimization. If I want, I can use another keyword for my briefcase. Let's say vendor, for example. Use keyword. And now it adds this other keyword as well to the SEO Live Assistant. So now I have 3 keywords. I can add as many keywords as I want. I can add keywords in order to optimize for multiple keywords all at once. And as you can see, the Squirrly SEO Live Assistant automatically checks for everything in real time and provides me feedback on how well my piece of content is already optimized. And as you will see, it will provide a lot of guidance around this as well. So yeah, get at least 3 keywords in there. You can also add SEO context keywords. So for example, SAA, S, and startup. I can add other things like investments, investment funds, software as a service, subscription models, and other keywords that will tell Google that this is indeed about the model of selling software as a service to other companies or to other people, and the algorithm would know better that I'm actually referring to software as a service and not some other abbreviation that could wind up being SaaS, right? So that's important to know. Of course, briefcase and Squirrly will tell you what you need to do at each step. You go here, you click continue, then it opens up the Squirrly blogging assistant, and you can see that this text is gonna change as I'm going to image, Twitter, It says click, insert it. Wikipedia, browsing Wikipedia articles. I can read stuff directly in my interface. Right, if you don't know what software as a service is, here you have it right in your browser. You haven't even left WordPress. You have the Wikipedia article directly in your WordPress as you're editing the page. So this is super cool. You can read, you can insert parts of it, you can do a lot of things. Then you can go and read more if you want. You can find more details, more content. You can go on, you can click on this. There's an arrow here. It will load up more content than you already have. Right, so there wasn't any more content, that's why I didn't load anything else. And you can go to blogging, which finds topic related articles written by fellow bloggers or influencers. So there's like a lot of things that you can do with this as well. And in season 4 on Get Grow channel, we're gonna have many more videos showing you how to use each of these, but I'm not gonna get into them today. And you can also use like previously written stuff from your own site in order to make crazy and really good inner links using exactly this module in the newly combined SEO Live Assistant. In the past, each of these tools were different. So you had Briefcase in one place, Blogging Assistant in one place, SEO Live Assistant in another place. Now you have all of them integrated as one really awesome thing that helps you make better content on your WordPress site. Right, and then I go to continue. Of course, I want to show you on Twitter because it didn't load. So if it doesn't find anything for best software as a service startup, you can click on not relevant and say, I don't know, MailChimp, for example, because it's a software as a service startup and maybe it's something useful there. So we're going to search and it's going to find some tweets about MailChimp. And you can see stuff about MailChimp right here. Right, so this is how it is. And now that we finished with this, we can go and continue. And in step 3, so I've been to step 1 for keywords, step 2 for enhance, and step 3 for the actual analysis. You can see that we have a lot of things that we need to do, the recipe, and we need to get all of these things to green. So once we get all of these things to green, this progress bar will show it's full, and you're gonna reach a score of 100%. If you feel like the real time isn't working properly because of many different things in your WordPress, or if you're using it in the front end of a certain builder, sometimes you need to click the update button, but usually it does all of the analysis in real time if something doesn't stop it. But the update button is there if you ever need it. Right, and it will calculate things about your keywords, the density, if the title is has enough density or not, if the content is Google friendly, if it's over optimized, if it's human friendly. Human friendly is very important because you want to optimize content for both search engines and also for human beings, so human friendly is super important. Then it checks to see if keywords are used in the title. It checks for title length, a domain name, and a lot of things, and you can really just go over the eyes. So I'm not sure if they show on the video, if OBS records them, but if you go and hover over the eyes here, then it tells you exactly what it does and what it checks for. So at the end, if you get it to 100%, everything will be perfect. So let's look at something. Right, so as you can see, in this case I need to update, and now you see that a lot of other things have been made with green. Yep, and you can see that they are now green because I've done that small edit, and now my score jumped to 71%, so that was a very easy fix to get it from 50 to 71. There's a lot of more things that I can do, like I can add my keyword best software as a service startup 3 more times, or I can remove words from the content. This is a very dynamic and very awesome calculation of the density. It's not easy. People think of density as one one constant, but it's not. It's very variable and takes into account the content length, the type of page that it is, and a lot of different things to come up with the perfect solution and perfect density according to your exact case. So it's not like a random, let's give everyone the same density and Google will be happy with that, because Google won't. And it took us a lot of time, a lot of years to study, to implement, and to see which are the best things to make your content Google friendly. Now, our human friendly optimization is also very interesting because it takes into account a lot of best practices for writing content and for what people prefer when reading content. So that's also very interesting to keep an eye on. And if you're done with this, I've taken it to 71%. I will just minimize the SEO Live Assistant and I will hit update. Right, and at the moment, let's say that we've created the content. We now have the apple juice. It's a good apple juice. It's 71% the apple juice that we need. Of course, it's best if you get it to 100%. But at the moment, this is all we will do. Now get the packaging right. So help search engines and social media sites learn what your page is about and how it's supposed to be displayed. So we're going to use bulk SEO for that. But at the moment, I also wanted to show you, we've now made an extra step called the deep research, which starts taking you to focus pages. A lot of people in the past, they didn't really reach focus pages soon enough, and by the time they reach focus pages, they already wasted a lot of time without knowing how to get the distribution right. So by adding this extra step for the deep analysis, we now get users very quickly to start bringing results on their websites. So whenever you think like a piece of content is super important for you and you 100% want to get it to the first page of Google search, just use focus pages and get it on focus pages. But we'll get to that later. So right now, let's go to bulk SEO. So I have bulk SEO here. And let's get the packaging right. So let's make sure that people will know that the apple juice is actually apple juice. Right, so let's look for this piece of content. So let's say it's a post. It's published. Best software as a service company. So this is the one that we've worked on. I'm not sure if you can see on the video, there's an animation that shows me what I need to do whenever I reach a red dot. So the purpose is to go from a red dot to a green dot, and if I click this one, you will see a lot of things happening on my screen. So you can see that I have things down here which I can start editing, and then I have things right here on the right that I need to check. So you can see that two of my very important tasks for this page aren't made. So the title isn't very good, and also the keyword is not present in the description of the page. So this is the meta tags, the details that are about the page. So we have the content which is on the page, which is the apple juice, and now on the packaging, I do not mention that this is apple juice. So basically what I need to do right now is to go and edit the snippet and tell it, dude, this is apple juice. So let's look at description. So now that I've done that, you see that the keyword in description has been checked and that the keyword is best software as a service startup. You can also see that highlighted right there. You can see the current URL. You can go to the URL if you want, and it will load inside of your browser. So you can also see that. Right, and it's easy to reach it. So that's one of the things you can do. And if you want, you can fix the title. At least this is the title that you have on your package. So when people reach your page, they will read this, but when people go on the search engine, they will see the title from the meta description. So that's a whole different story. So you have the apple juice, and now you have the bottle, and on the bottle the title is too long. So we don't want the title on the bottle to be too long, because then customers won't pick it up from the shelves. Now let's see, edit snippet again, and let's go to the pattern. This is based on the pattern. I can click on the current title, which forms the exact title based on the pattern used in SEO automation. And right now we're gonna go here, let's say delete the thing from chief content. You can see it's 77, we need to get it 75. And it's 75. So save. And now this is all good. Now this thing on the right side. You see on the right side everything is good now. Because everything is good on the right side, the canonical link, the keywords, keyword in description and everything, you can see that it turned green. Now, some people will say that you don't need meta keywords, and I definitely agree with that for like a particularly Google SEO-ish point of view, but it's very important for search engines, for other tools, and even for Squirrly SEO to have a clear definition of what your keyword is going to be like for the package that you have. So for the bottle, which is the best keyword to be used, and there's still search engines and tools like Squirrely SEO that take this into account. And if we get this from you, then we're gonna really know what you intend to do with the bottle in which you package the apple juice, to give you much better advice on what you need to do with your overall SEO strategy. So as I said, even though it's not very important for Google search engine itself, it's important for other players, and it's also important for us in our system to provide you with more and better details, because sometimes there are going to be discrepancies and problems between the apple juice and the bottle in which you package the apple juice. And by knowing this, we can come up with different solutions for our clients. So that's why we recommend it, and that's why we place it here. You can deactivate the task if you go here. Just in my screen, if you go here, you can deactivate it if you don't care about it. It's always your choice to ignore things that Squirrely has, but I don't recommend it. You can do it anyway. And then, let's say the rest of the package. So we have JSON LD. You can do more things. You can select different types. You can hold the control key to select multiple types if it's relevant. JSON LD breadcrumbs tells you that it's active. The primary category is going to be placed inside of the JSON LD in the read snippet. You can remove other schema done by other plugins or other things, and JSON LD code is made automatically. You can switch it to custom, and then you can build it with the custom builder that we provide for free in Squirrely SEO, because it's for free everywhere else on the internet, but we provide a builder. You can build your rich snippet. You can get it inside the custom code inside bulk SEO, and you can even validate it using Google's validator, so that you will always be certain that the code you've provided as custom code is perfect. Right, and then you can click save, but I'm gonna leave it automatic here in this video. Now this is how my page shows on Facebook. So this is like the preview of how it's going to be on social media on Facebook. This is the preview for Twitter, and if I want to change anything, I can just go to edit Twitter card, for example, and I can start changing the image. I can upload a different image. I can change the title, the description, and I can even change the card type. So I'm going to look for summary large image because that's what I like. I'm going to click save. And you can also see that in bulk SEO you have different settings and checks that are made for Twitter card. For the title of the Twitter card, you can change the title of the Twitter card. So if you want your apple juice bottle on Twitter to appear differently because it's in a different store, like in a different hypermarket, then you can definitely change that up, and Squirrely SEO will still count the changes that you make, because some people will want to have different things inside meta, right? So different titles here, different titles on when they appear in Facebook feeds. So where we look at OG title tags and OG descriptions. Then on Twitter, where we go at TC and TC descriptions, the images, and you can see that there's a lot of checks to help you out and to make sure that you don't fail at SEO and that you make the perfect package for your apple juice. So you're going to design the perfect bottle for your apple juice. Now, of course, there's also visibility settings that you can do, like letting Google index the page, send authority, show it in sitemap. You currently have a setting for not showing in sitemap XML things that are placed as no index, because then it doesn't make sense for Google, and Google Search Console will bring about errors and you will not like that. So you know that Squirrly knows how to do that by default, and it tells you about it right here. So you can rest assured. And then you also have checks on the right side. Everything is check marked, so everything is good. And you can even do a 301 redirect, 301 redirect if you want to send this page over to a different URL. So if somebody clicks this link, they're going to be taken somewhere else on your site, and you can do that from here and click save. So this is the things that you can do to package your apple juice. So we've basically created the apple juice with the SEO Live Assistant. Then we've packaged the juice using bulk SEO, and now we also have that. And then for the last part of this video, let's go to focus pages and see what we can do with focus pages. So at the moment, I wanted to show you that this is why looking at focus pages, you can look at it from a perspective of many focus pages all at once. And you can see that the first page starts with red, second with red, third with red on the column. Then you can see red, 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 I mean green, 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 then green, green, red, then red, green, green, and then another series of red, different page authorities and different social signals for each of your pages. So this gives you a very, very good overview to have of your focus pages. Now, another cool thing that you can do in focus pages, you can filter by the red elements. So you can say, I want to filter by SEO content. So just show me the pages that have problems on an SEO content level. And then what you see here is going to be a much easier view of your content, and you're going to see the focus pages, the chances of ranking for the focus pages, with the explanation of what chance of ranking actually means. And then you have the SEO content, and you can click it again. It will behave like in the bulk SEO, where you get your stuff on the right side. You can click on them to see what needs to be done, what's the current level, what you need to do here, where you need to go, and everything that you need to do in order to make your pages perfect. So this is when you want to fix SEO content. Now let's say that you want to fix something else, like you want to fix SEO image. I've clicked on SEO image, so now it's going to bring about the focus pages that have problems with SEO images. So you can see that many of them have, and some of them don't. So we also have this, and it's highlighted in the column. So this is perfect. Now we just need to focus on the SEO images of these other articles from the site. And of course I can refresh the filter so that we get a clear view of everything, the whole overview of focus pages on chiefcontent.com. So now we will go here. You can see the audit date, you can request a new audit, you can go to details, you can see the chances of ranking, and you can see a lot of different things. So everybody has a different chance of ranking. Everything is calculated dynamically according to the page, the type of page, the keywords used, and a lot of details. Now, the lot of details are this. So if we go to visibility, you will see that it opens up quite a few things. So in visibility, so I've clicked on visibility, as you could see on my screen. Index, follow, sitemap, manual index request, canonical link, permalink structure. Then if we go to keyword, we click on keyword. Now it shows me the keyword competition, and it tells me about keyword competition. So if I want, I can just click on anything. You can see the current, and then you can read more details. You can find out everything you need from Squirrly SEO. It's just wonderful how it works and the amount of information and content brings you, so that you get the best help in the world to fix your pages and to start ranking on Google. Now you can go and find better keywords. You can optimize for this keyword. The keyword is highlighted here, cornerstone, content strategy. This is the score in the SEO Live Assistant. Then you can click on strategy. You see that we have a couple of things to look at. We didn't add any SEO context to this article. We didn't place any labels, so if it doesn't have any labels, then it means that it's not clearly organized inside my SEO strategy, and I don't really know where this piece of content fits into my strategy, and it's very bad for teamwork, for example. Now, I can go to SEO content. For SEO content, you see that it has different other factors, like the whole snippet, the fresh content update. Of course, the snippet is now green, but when the focus page audit was made, it wasn't. So right now on my video, you know that the snippet is supposed to be green, but before I started the video and started doing all of that optimization, it wasn't. And if we need this one to be checked, then we need to go and do another focus page audit, which we are going to get to. Now that I've talked about it in the video, I guess it makes a lot of sense to actually do it. Right, so then we go to words per page. It's important to know that the content needs to be long, much longer than I currently have. It gives you ideas for how to do it. And also, you make the content long, but it doesn't have to be boring, so you need to make sure that you provide a great experience. So this is calculated using every time on page, and you can learn more about the calculations here. So those are other factors. Then you have platform SEO. Sitemap is enhanced. You can see where to go to enhance it. Post type settings are activated. It tells you all about it. So SEO automation is activated. We have the robots file with the current link. Then we go to snippet, as I've said. The problem was that the snippet wasn't customized, so that's why you didn't get a good score here in SEO content in snippet is green. If we go here, we can see that it's not customized. So for usual apple juice that's just there in the store, it's fine to have anything the producer wanted. But if we really want to highlight it on our store, so if you have like the perfect apple juice that we know a lot of people will buy, we want to make sure that we make the best description and the best presentation in our store, and we are going to highlight it in our store. And in order to do that, we are going to have to create custom snippets. So custom title, custom description, and customize everything about the open graph and Twitter cards, so it doesn't have like the general feeling that every single store has about that apple juice. It will have the best feeling for the customers that walk into our store, because it's going to be the best bottle of apple juice they've seen in their life, and it's going to be differentiated from all the other things in our store and on other stores on the internet. That's why it's important to be customized. Right, then what do we need to go next? So we have SEO image, another factor, and you can see ideas on where you can place your keyword in the file name. It gives you the file names, and you can see which one of these can be changed and updated so that you make the SEO image perfect. Then we go to traffic health. So it's not enough to have traffic, you need to get good bounce rates, good time on page, many visitors per day. Otherwise, it's very hard to rank if you don't have any visitors. And to make sure that you have just one Google Analytics tracking code. So a lot of people have multiple tracking codes that messes up your analytics, and sometimes you get penalized for that, or you get weird data that doesn't help you at all. So that's why it's important to have a check like this in your WordPress. Then platform health, you will see that the audit is not good. Currently it's 1%, and usually when your SEO audit from Squirrly is 1%, that means that you basically told Google to no index pages which are important to you and which you want to have displayed on the Google search engine. And in case you do that, we automatically give you a score of 1 out of 100, because we want you to pay attention to the issues and to make sure that none of your important pages are currently having any kind of no index settings. So that's very important for you as a user. Right, that's some of the stuff we have. Now we go to page authority. It tells you all about page authority in your current one, what you need to get. So as you can see, we always tell you where you need to go. You need to go here to 70, you're at 1. Here you are at 19, you need to get to 35, and then you're going to get a check mark, and this is going to be green. You have plenty of social signals. It was supposed to be 112,000 from trackable sources. You can see everything that you need here. You can read more about backlinks, inner links, referring domains, all of that stuff. We've made many updates in the Squirrly SEO Pix version to all of this. Now you can see that here in inner links I have only one of them with green, so this is a good page. So apparently this one has 5 inner links. It actually has, look, it has 19 inner links, and Squirrly calculated the number of inner links that I have, so we recommend at least 5, but it's usually best to get 20. so we're almost there. Then we have outbound links. We don't maintain authority, so we need to add some of this stuff to our nofollow, because we don't want to get everything out of our site. We want to get everything into our site, so that's important to do. Accuracy, and then we have CTRs and stuff calculated from Google Search Console. So these all of these other factors are calculated by Squirrly's different methods, different APIs, and like the proprietary software that we have. And some of this stuff like CTR is going to come from Google Search Console if the connection is made properly, impressions and clicks. And here you can inspect the URL. If you think there's some problems with the URL or with the way that we process the page, you can request a new audit and you can remove the focus page. Now, when you remove a focus page, it doesn't delete your focus page from the WordPress site, doesn't delete it from the whole site. It just makes sure that you will have one more available slot. So if you have 5 slots for focus pages and all of them are full, you can just remove a focus page. The focus page remains on your site, remains with the SEO Live Assistant, with the bulk SEO. You still have the distribution for it, you still have the apple juice, you still have the bottle for the apple juice. You can place it in the rank tracker and in SEO audit for further maintenance. But if you remove from focus pages, you open up a new slot for a new page that you want to work on. Because for example, on this page with 30% chance of ranking, maybe I don't want to work on it anymore, because let's say that I've worked for 3 years on it, I couldn't do anything about it. Let's just drop it and focus on a page and on apple juice that we can actually get to customers. So if the apple juice isn't right, just change the recipe, focus on a different apple juice, get that to the customers, and this is what you want to reach. Basically, you want to reach this. This is what you want to reach. You need to reach the congratulations and the rankings. So that's super important for you to do, and you won't do that if you're focusing on the wrong things. Right, and we can also go to details. So this was our focus page for today. Let's go to details. And you will see that if I go to focus page details, I get something that's more focused on this particular focus page. So before we were in focus pages and we saw the overview of all the focus pages, and here we see just the details for this focus page. I can click on show all focus pages again, or I can click request new audit. I can do things here again, like even remove and inspect. I can see my chance of ranking, the link, then I can see how my chance of ranking evolved, and I can see progress and achievements directly for this particular page. I can even share my success on Twitter if I want. I can click this button to share my success with others, and I have progress and achievements, and then you can see all the other elements here. And again, you can click and things will open up on the right side of the screen, and again you can click everything and you can see what you need to do to make sure you will start getting good rankings. So this has been it for today's video. This is how we kickstart season 4 on Get Growth TV, and I'm super excited because I still have a lot to show you, like keyword research tool. I have to show you our ranking tool, the SERP checker, basically, which shows you the exact positions on the Google search engine for many of your keywords. I still have to show you the SEO audit, and there's like a lot of different other things that I need to show to you, about the new Squirrly SEO picks, and I'm super excited that I'm gonna get the chance to do that over the next few days and over the next few weeks. So this is the new beginning for season 4 on Get Growth, and hopefully you've liked this walkthrough video. Thanks very much for watching.